Hello and welcome to Food for Thought. This week we're going to be doing something that literally happened today. And this is something that I consulted my second in command, Gamer Guts, or as she slides over here next to me for this. She's not going to be speaking in this video because that's only me speaking because she's not at my house at this moment. But we talked over the phone about this just to consult because we represent two different sides of a coin here. I'm a very avid Nintendo gamer. She is not as much. And so let me introduce the topic. The new 3DS and 3DS XL. Yes, that is currently their name. The new is the only thing added to them. I was hoping a little bit something like XDS or something cool, but it's not. And so let's just talk about what they are. First off, they now have the ability to use micro SD cards. They have a second analog stick, the second set of shoulder buttons. The DS actually has colored faceplate buttons that look kind of Famicom inspired. They have a stronger CPU and a better screen. So a lot of features in these. And as you can see, this is like the reveal trailer here. But here's what's really crazy. People are attacking it because one game is confirmed for this device and not the originals. And why I'm talking about this and why I'm so on the other side of this conversation is because after talking to Gamer Guts and mixing them with my own opinions, I've come to the conclusion that those who are whining really haven't lived that long on this earth. Because if you would have lived through the Game Boy Color generation or the DSi generation, you would know this is nothing new. In fact, this is something Nintendo's been doing for a very long time with their handheld line. And I even expected it to happen. It wasn't a shock that this was happening. I'm actually shocked that it is as good as it is. In fact, I've been in the market for a new 3DS because, as you can see by my old one, it's being held together with duct tape. Well, not even duct tape, electrical tape, because the duct tape looked odd. So, I've been in the market for a new 3DS, and I'm going to be getting one of these when they come out here stateside. But let's talk about them. Let's talk about why people are just odd. And we're going to start, believe it or not, by talking about some of the comments that I can read right now to you guys. So here we are in the comment sections, and we're looking at, this is literally the top of the comment section on this reveal. And so, let's read off some of the comments. Basically, there's no point in buying a 3DS, as you just get ripped off. My 3DS is 2 years old, and yeah, I don't think I got ripped off. Let's see. The Game Boy DS life was 7 years. If I thought the 3DS was only going to be 3 years, I wouldn't have bought it. Technically, the Game Boy and DS life were split up about halfway through with a secondary console. Nintendo, fuck our fans, give us money. Robots. Again, really, how are they screwing you over? I understand that people might be frustrated because they just bought a 3DS. But have you seen Nintendo's track history with this kind of a thing? Have you experienced more than 5 years of life? Have you owned a Nintendo console before? Because I have lived through every single handheld generation. And you know what? This isn't anything new. And GamerGuts doesn't think this is anything new. In fact, her words exactly, it's just the next evolution of the system. So, there are 3 ways Nintendo can go with this, and people are jumping to conclusions saying, all these new games are going to make the old 3DS obsolete and blah 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 blah. Well, here's the thing. The worst it could go is the way of the Game Boy Color. How the Game Boy Color worked was you had the Game Boy Pocket, which I owned, the Game Boy Color, which I did not own, my father owned, and you would get games for the Game Boy Color that needed the extra CPU and color, but they would still make Game Boy games with the color built in, so when you plugged it into a Game Boy Color, you'd have color. But there wasn't really that many exclusive Game Boy Color games. You were able to buy Pokemon Gold and Silver after the Game Boy Color came out for the Game Boy, but you would have to play Crystal version on the Game Boy Color. That was the only exclusion. It really, that's how I feel like this is going to go. And that is the worst it can go, because in all honesty, this is Nintendo we're talking about. They didn't market it as a brand new system. They're saying it's an upgrade to the system. It could also go the way of the DSi. And the DSi is interesting, especially because technically it had tons of exclusive games that you can only get on the DSi, but they were all shovelware. They were special games that you would only get that were shovelware. Some of the games were great on the DSi. I'm not even going to deny that. I owned one. I experienced it. I liked it over my DS Lite. It was sturdier. It was a better console. Yet, there wasn't a huge change. There wasn't a reason that your DS Lite would be completely excluded. And the best way this can go is the SP. Yeah, I know they're not exactly in order, but think about this. The Game Boy Advance was kind of flawed in many ways. The SP comes out, it's significantly better. Yet, all the games ran on the SP that ran on the Advanced and vice versa. Now, here's the thing. We don't have that much information on these systems. I know I'm getting one, and I'm pretty sure if I have the money at the time, I will upgrade Gamer Guts's, just because hers is a 3-year-old one that I used for a year before getting the XL. I have had my DS's since the beginning of their lives. The new 3DS's, they're a pretty big upgrade, and I like it. And as long as they stay competitively priced, I will be getting one. And so, what I'm trying to say, guys, is stop flipping out. Yeah, you can call me a Nintendo fanboy all you want. Doesn't change the fact that you guys are overreacting. In all honesty, think about it. How many times did the PlayStation 3 change till the end of its lifetime? How many times did the Xbox have to change because it kept red ringing? How many times has a Nintendo handheld changed in its lifespan? Because I can say 3 for the DS, there were 2 for the Game Boy Advance, and 3 for the Game Boy. Actually, no, 3 for the Game Boy Advance. So, in reality, this is just the 3rd step. Or even just the 2nd step if you really don't want to count the XL to the 3DS. It's gonna happen. It was going to happen from the start. It's the natural evolution of things. Yet people are treating it like it's the Nintendo apocalypse. I just want you guys to think. Has this company ever completely screwed you over? Have they ever done anything against the fans and not apologized for it? Let this play out before you start judging. The damn thing just got announced. We don't have the details. And I'm going to say that again. We don't have the details. You can't complain about something if you don't know anything about it. All we know is it's new, it's shiny, and anyone who just recently bought a 3DS is going to be pissed, but in the long run, they may feel like there was no real harm. So, as always, this is food for thought. You could tell I'm actually pretty avid about this topic. I'm pretty aware of what's going on in the gaming world. I want you guys to just think about it. Is this really a bad thing? You can yell at me in the comment section all you want. Nobody watches these videos except for that one guy who's like, woo! And I'm cool with you, one guy. But I can say what I want on YouTube. I thank you guys again. Wolfie, out.